we've got an oil change on the Deville. Yes, another oil change. Sorry it's not too stimulating, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm going to use the ramps as they're intended for a little bit of vehicle maintenance. So this will be a lot lighter of a video. Sit back and enjoy. Here we are, under the rusty Deville. Last time I was under one of these things, I had a Sawzall, and I was cutting it all apart, just for fun. Anybody curious? This is a 15 mil, like usual. Now, I always choose days with high winds when I do oil changes. I'm probably going to have to pick up the catch to try to keep them. Windy. Guess I can use this opportunity to clean out my funnel. That's not so bad. Now we wait just a couple of minutes here. I waited a while. It finally finished draining. So I'm going to snug up that drain plug now. That's it, good to go. Get my oil filter wrench. This is the cheapy one that I keep on breaking and bending. You can see it's all twisted. I should just buy another one, but I haven't yet, and I don't know why. I also bought some brand new gloves, and I'm not wearing any of them. Strange, huh? Okay. Here's where we make a little mess, but that's okay. Oil filter drops. Let's get this thing going again here. Try to play the catch. And then I'll dump that filter the rest of the way off here. Here we go. New filter, it's the same as the old one, M1206, because I use the Mobile brand. There are lots of different brands out there and available. They all do the same thing generally, but some do it better than others. I would suggest researching before buying. Find one that's going to work for what your needs are and your purpose and your driving habits. Read reviews, watch videos on YouTube. They're fantastic for that kind of stuff. In this case here, we pre-fill this oil filter to help with lubricating the engine. That way we're not going to have a dry spell when it's sucking air through this thing. So you fill it like this a couple of times and it soaks into the media inside. Once she's full, you're good to go. Follow the directions on the filter when reinstalling. In this case here it says oil it. Turn it on. Once it touches, turn it 3/4 more of a turn. Good to go. Pretty simple. You're supposed to wipe up any excess because that'll help you keep an eye for any new leaks that might develop after you've changed your oil. If you didn't tighten something quite enough, that's a good way to find out, is when you wipe it down. This car is self-oiling, which means it leaks oil on itself, so I don't really have to worry about wiping it because it's always constantly running clean, fresh oil out of itself. So now that I'm touching, I have to worry about going another 3/4 of a turn. Oil filter wrench will be my tool of choice for that. And there's my 3/4. Closer to a full turn that time, but it spun. Old filter gets recycled. Now we go back onto the top end and put some clean engine oil in this thing. Let's go on up there. So on the top of the engine, inside under the hood, find your oil fill cap. That also depicts what type of oil should be in your engine. your area that you live in may also affect that in one way or another. Get your dirty old funnel and stuff it inside the engine. And get your new liquid gold that's actually cheaper than gasoline now. Go figure, if you live in Canada. And you fill that baby up to what the manufacturer recommends. In my case, I think I'm right around the 5-liter mark that it's requiring. So this will be, I'll have to use up this whole jug, plus a little bit of a leftover. I think I have it in the trunk. If not, I've got a brand new one ready to go as well. Okay, so I've filled this guy. I've let it sit for a couple of minutes here, so to let the oil settle down into the pan and rest. And then what you want to do, clean off your dipstick, and then go in for a fresh reading here. And let's see where we land. So, the cross hatches in my case, let's see if this is going to work. The cross hatches in my case represent where the oil fill level should be. Generally right now I'm going to say 70 to 80% of the way there. However, I do still see oil up the dipstick running along the side, which means it's still settling a bit. Could be residual running out from before. Give it 2 more minutes. I'll check it one more time. We'll see if we fall within the threshold. If I have to add a bit more oil, I will. After that, we're going to go for the startup. So I did end up dropping a tiny bit more motor oil into the engine. And now we have reached the crosshairs, the top of the crosshairs, which tells me that this car is full of oil. Being up on the ramps, I'm on a level surface, which is what's recommended when checking the oil level in your vehicle. This is also a prime time to check other things in your vehicle, such as brake fluid level. You can see on the side of the bottle it tells you there is a minimum and a maximum. Sometimes it's hard to see, but if you open that container, you can see the fluid right toward the top. That fluid should be clear and clean. If it's black and dirty, it's probably time to have it flushed out and cleaned, or do that yourself. You'll see me do that in a later video related to the Blazer. Looking here, this is my coolant reservoir tank on this vehicle. This is how I check the fluid level visually. I can see there's a top line and a low line. This would be the full hot and cold markings. As long as I'm within that range, I know I'm okay. Your coolant can be red, it can be green, depending on your vehicle and manufacturer. It's different all around. Power steering is this fella right here. We're going to crack that open for a quick second, and I am full on that, so we are happy here. Transmission fluid in my car is a pain in the butt. I have to remove the whole airbox in order to even get down there to find the dipstick to pull it out and check it, so it looks great from here. The rain is beginning to fall. I need to put the windows up on this car, and we've got to check for some leaks. Okay, so first start up after an oil change, you always want to make sure that you've got oil pressure. So in my case, my car will tell me if there is no oil pressure. I had that experience from that other Cadillac that I was driving, that black one that I ruined, and it would pop up right away inside my heads-up display warning me about low oil pressure, turn off engine immediately, or something along those lines, I think was its process. These windows up. Good. Now, the vehicle's running. Let's check for leaks. We're going to look at the same places we were working. So that would be engine oil filter, the filler, the drain plug. Now, I didn't wipe any of that stuff off, so what's there is residual from just replacing that filter. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, no new leaks. Lots of rust, a few holes, but no new leaks. That's good. Oh, the sun comes out just as it's raining. So let's get this bad boy down off the ramps. Close that hood. Cool. Now, since I have 2 empty jugs of what used to be engine oil, I'm going to pour the old expired engine oil into the empty jugs. and then it can be sent off for recycling. Okay, so on this particular model of car, I have an oil service monitor or oil life monitor. I can access that through my main menu on here, right there. I hold my reset button and I can reset that back to 0, or in this case 100, which is 99%. There we go. So now my engine oil life monitor has been reset. I do change my oil every 5,000 kilometers, which is more than the recommended amount. You can tell me I'm wasting my money, and I'm using full synthetic oil and a synthetic compatible filter. You could say, oh, you're wasted, it goes down the drain, you could go another 10,000 kilometers on it, and you're right, I probably can. There's no doubt in my mind that the engine oil that I use would last longer than how long I run it for. However, with the vehicles that I own, the ones that I've driven and that I've maintained regularly with something as simple as an oil change, I've never had any major issues with the engines themselves. The worst I had was my Blazer, and the oil pickup fell off of that. Even that happening, I was running synthetic oil, and with that happening, I still didn't have any internal engine damage. Nothing critical. Very light machining. We brought it back to life, but we also added a lot of horsepower to it by changing just about everything inside. So it was an upgrade and a repair, but the pickup falling off has nothing to do with the type of engine oil I was using or how frequently I was or wasn't changing it. The black Cadillac Deville that we will compare directly to this one had 200,000 kilometers. I'm at 215 and change. That car's reason for dying, the reason I killed it, if you remember, if you watched any of those videos, was directly related to a oil pump failure. The oil pump itself failed. That particular vehicle, I happen to know, was maintained at the regular service intervals recommended by the computer itself. So the computer says, hey, it's time to change your oil. They went in and changed my oil. Did you notice that my oil life monitor still said 75%, but my oil came out dark, very black? It can't be good to leave that stuff inside an engine for an extended period of time, especially when there's no need for it. Something as simple as an oil change, in my opinion, is one of the cheapest things you can do to maintain your vehicle. We've got lots of great videos coming up in the next couple of months here. If this is something that interests you, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you see when I make uploads of these type. This summer I'm going to cover some renovation work that's going to be happening at my home here, which will be pretty interesting. And working in the construction field my whole life, this is actually something that I've never been a part of, what we're going to be doing. I think it's very exciting, very fun, scary at the same time for me, because there's a chance that my house falls apart, but hey, it'll make a good video too. Plus it'll give us something that we've wanted for a long time. Anyways, I've got lots of plans here for the John Deere as far as upgrades and repairs and maintenance are concerned. And that K66 works like a champion. That needs a medal in its own. That works fantastic. Obviously I've got lots of Chevette stuff on the go, always. That's half the fun. I need to bring in my oil catch and get myself inside and get cleaned up, because I am wiped out now. I'm tired. Thanks everybody for watching. I really do appreciate the views and the comments. It's always great to hear your feedback, what your opinions are. Even if we don't share the same opinion, I certainly like to see where you're coming from and what leads you to think like you do. I've been proven wrong many times before, and we will not stop yet. I will definitely be wrong again. Maybe you noticed something in this video that you would do differently, or that you would suggest I do differently next time, and I'd be happy to hear it. So hit me up. Talk to you later.